Definitely was supposed to have this out last week, but went away for a bachelor party, came back sicker than a dog, and here we are. What took me so long to find this franchise? Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the third entry in a surprisingly strong action trilogy that flew under my radar for the last decade, The Equalizer 3. Before we get started, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you never miss any of my new reviews. Normally I get at least one out a week, when I'm not sick. Now let's get into it. Based on an action crime thriller TV show from the 80s, the Equalizer movies star Denzel Washington as former Special Ops agent Robert McCall, who uses his very particular set of skills to bring justice to the people that need it the most, in some quick, effective, and brutal ways.
It was really traumatizing!
This time, after an incident with an Italian drug cartel, McCall's justice serving leaves him wounded, stuck in a village outside of Sicily, where he gets healed up by the local doctor, befriends the locals, and starts to become a villager on his own, experiencing peace for one of the first times in his life.
Finally, inner peace. Now what?
Until the Camorra, or the Mafia as we know it, rears its ugly head, with two incredibly evil enforcers running the town, the Caranta brothers, Andrea Scarduzio's quiet and sadistic Vincent, and Andrea Daddaro's bombastic, psychotic Marco. And you know what McCall is gonna do. He's gonna equalize those motherfuckers so hard that town stays peaceful forever. Damn, was this a good movie. At the time I watched this, which is right around the hurricane, I had only just watched the first two Equalizer movies within the last week, and I thoroughly enjoyed both, so I was pretty excited to see what this one held in store. And I'm happy to say that if you came to this movie expecting more of Denzel dispatching guys with bloody, gory results, you'll get what you're looking for, along with a hefty dose of character and poignant heart that goes a long way in making this movie more than just an entertaining action flick. Now, something I had originally listed as a complaint was the fact that in the beginning, after the pretty amazing opening sequence, the movie pumps the brakes hard, giving us a first act that is nearly completely devoid of any action or violence. I was originally not very cool with that, but as the movie went on, I started to get more invested. Because what it does is it takes its time to show that, even though he can still take a room full of guys on and take them all out in 15 seconds with just his hands, Robert McCall is getting up there in years and is really not in the peak condition that he used to be. And they show all that without ever putting his character down, which I really appreciated. We also get plenty of time to see McCall interact with the locals, befriend a lot of them, and basically become a local himself with a cast of pretty strong supporting characters.
These are my kind of people.
Though it takes a bit to get going and eats up a lot of the runtime, the first act is thematically rich, excellently shot and well acted, and does more for Robert's character in developing the supporting characters around him than anything in the last two movies did. This also just makes it hit that much harder when the fucking Caranta brothers show up again and Robert has to leave all that peace behind to start doing some equalizing. And it definitely helps that these brothers are a piece of work. If I can compare the feeling that these brothers bring when they're on screen to another fantastic villain, they honestly reminded me of the feeling I get whenever I watch The Boys and Homelander comes on screen. Because just like him, they are so unpredictably evil that you're not really sure what they're gonna do, but you know it's gonna be f***ed up. They're the perfect foils for Robert in this movie, challenging the peace that's taken him so many years to find, to the point where when they push him far enough, you know that he's gonna fight back.
I'm about to lose my freaking mind!
Once we get through the first act that's slow yet rich in character and world building, we get to what you really came to see. Robert McCall taking dudes out in quick, effective, and brutal ways. And whenever those scenes happen, this movie just blasts away into a frenzy of expertly choreographed action, hits, stabs, and shots that have real, painful connection, and incredibly creative cinematography that keeps you on the edge of your seat. I'm amazed that Antoine Fuqua is finding this many ways to be creative and unique this far into his career.
Nailed it!
And all of this is boosted so much by the immense charm that Denzel Washington brings to the screen. After playing McCall for two movies, it feels like Washington has fully embraced this role, perfectly portraying all the little nuances and quirks that make that character what he is, with plenty of wisdom and heart coming from his interactions with the side characters, like Dakota Fanning as newcomer CIA agent Collins, who, though she feels more of an afterthought in the actual movie, she's still a fine enough addition to the cast, and she offers a pretty solid place for Robert to impart some of that Equalizer wisdom that we've come to know and love over the last couple movies.
Very wise, sir.
Unfortunately, though, aside from many of the locals in the village that he's in, like the local doctor, the local fishman, who serve their purpose in the story and pull at your heartstrings without having that much writing to them, Collins is really the side character with the most development and strong presence in the film. David Denman and might as well have a cameo as her supervisor. He literally has no writing to him whatsoever. And Gaia Scotalara as Amina, though it seems like they may be setting her up as a love interest or something along those lines for Robert, ultimately is not really there to do more than just subtly flirt with him and dump a bunch of exposition about the village.
You're right, it is oddly clunky and expositional.
This, along with too much time that the movie spends setting things up in the beginning, are my two very small complaints, and thankfully there's not really much else that doesn't work here. This is a grounded, thrilling action film that takes its time to set up characters, emotional conflict, and the perfect amount of growing resentment for our unpredictable and straight up evil villains, so it can reward us with some of the best action and character work this series has seen so far. Kudos to Denzel and director Antoine Fuqua for pulling another one of these off, because after all of these years, those two are still
a dynamic duo.
And that's my review of Equalizer 3. If you like this video, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss any of my new content. You can also find the links to my socials in the description below. Leave a comment with your thoughts. And if you want more content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. They'll take you to my review of Gran Turismo, or just over to my channel where you can check out my reviews, my shorts, and my old shit. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time for my review of A Haunting in Venice.